So which one do you like better? This one or this one? Probably this one. This one was a test pour. This one's rough because I buried the foam directly in the sand without any coating. This one, the foam I coated with plaster, drywall mud, which is better known as gypsum. That's why you get a smooth finish. Though I did sand it, it still was smooth. Now in this video, it's a lost foam casting video. It's not going to be the full video. I'm going to show you clips from both of these videos. The mishap I had when pouring this one, and this beautiful pour right here. So make sure you hang tight and check out the video. And we're going to start off the video from the first video of the test pour. This is where I'm just melting down some aluminum ingots in my V-bore propane furnace. I have the mold that I created made up with the foam pattern inside surrounded with dry sand. I'm checking back on the furnace to see if the aluminum has melted, and it has not. But in the meantime, I'm going to actually warm up another ingot to add it to the furnace, just because at this time I'm not really sure how much aluminum I'm going to need to fill out the foam pattern. So we're going to remove the lid and drop in the warm ingot right into the molten aluminum. Then I'll put the lid back on the furnace and start it back up again, and then do the same exact thing for another ingot that I'm going to be adding. Because as I said, I'm not really sure how much aluminum I'm going to need to cast this sword. This entire first video was just a test pour. I do believe this is the last piece of aluminum I put into the furnace. So once this has been melted down, we're going to then shut off the furnace and pour that molten aluminum inside of that mold that I have here in front of us. And again, I wasn't very happy with this mold. That is why you'll see later on in the video my second cast, where I created a new mold box that would hold the foam pattern in sufficiently, because this was kind of dangerous, to be honest with you. I didn't like really stacking a drum on top of another drum. Now, as you can see, I couldn't see. All you see is flames and smoke, and with the lost foam you kind of have to keep pouring, because if you stop pouring, the loose dry sand surrounding your foam pattern will just cave in and ruin your mold. So I just kept pouring even though the molten metal was flowing and dropping down onto my driveway. That wasn't good. So I then had to quickly grab some sand and throw the sand on the fire to stop it from burning my driveway. Which also led me to use a larger can to pour the molten metal into, and again, you'll see that in the next step of the video where I cut off the bottom of a large crucible that was basically no good to me anymore. It was just laying around the garage. I didn't risk using it to actually melt metal into, so I figured why not just cut the bottom off, because it's the same exact size as the one I'm using. After about 25 minutes, I thought it was a good time where I can then remove the top barrel from the mold box and see how the sword came out. And sure enough, it actually filled out the entire pattern. I wasn't really sure exactly what happened on this pour at the moment because of all of the aluminum I spilled all over the place. I for sure thought that I had a cave-in of the sand and the foam pattern didn't fully get burned out. As you see, I have a full cast. I just cleaned it up, and you saw in the beginning of the video, it came out pretty good, just for a test pour. And now we're going to jump right into the second video that I made, where I'm pouring the molten aluminum into that second crucible with the hole cut out of the bottom. And watch how beautiful it was to pour into this, as well as the mold box. Afterwards, there was some debris left over in the top, and I kind of just wanted to scoop that out with a spoon, because I am going to remelt the metal that was left over in the top of the crucible. And now we're going to remove some of this box and allow the sand to fall out of it to expose the sword for us to easily pull out of the top. And just like before, I usually wait about 20 to 25 minutes, and the aluminum has solidified and you're now able to pull it out of the mold box. I then brought it into the garage, cut off any of the extra aluminum, used a wire wheel to clean it up, and then I took the grinder with a sanding disc to it to really give it a shine. And then this is the final product of two metal casts, the test cast and the actual cast. I have now a beautiful handmade Minecraft sword by metal casting aluminum using the lost foam casting method. Don't forget to check out the full videos in the description.